Hey, good morning. It's Terry and Christine, Generator Coaching.
Hey everybody, how are you doing today?
How are you doing today? It is Tuesday. We're ready to rock and roll, and it is time to take action.
Action. We actually we went live on the wrong place, and so we're doing it again here, and it was really actually pretty terrible. So we decided to do it again, a little bit different. We're gonna really be more clear on what we're talking about, because
Clarity wins.
clarity
every
wins.
time.
And it was actually really funny because she started laughing, I started laughing, and then we just kind of got all over the place. That's one thing that's fun about lives, is you got to kind of do it and keep going. So we're talking about productivity today. We're talking about the one habit that actually kills productivity, and it is...
I bet you can think of a lot of them, actually. A lot of things that kill productivity. But today we're talking about the number one way to kill productivity. Are you excited? I know I'm excited, and I bet you do this. But this is a habit because we are humans, and there are distractions out there, and there are ways that we want to be wonderful.
We know
So
you
you
do it.
ready? Are you ready to hear it?
We know you do it. Type I want to know in the chat.
I want to know.
I want to know.
Are you getting excited to hear what it is?
It's the one thing we do.
Are you thinking about what it could be? Are you tossing and turning and thinking and thinking and thinking? Hey, guess what?
It's
Terry,
overthinking.
what is it? It's
overthinking.
overthinking.
It's overthinking. We overthink too much. How do you know when you're overthinking?
Yeah, what does that look like? Do you know? Is that something that you practice to break? Is overthinking? What could you overthink?
You can overthink what you want for dinner. You can overthink what you're going to do today. You can
Overthink, should I do my hair first or should I pick out my clothes first?
You overthink pretty much anything. The one thing that we find is that our clients tend to overthink how to be productive in making profits. And so we really...
That's what we like to do for people, is get them more profits and dominate their space.
Dominating their space by being more productive. And so more hours actually doing things to make you money and doing less of the things that get you stuck in loops. And so we're going to tell you a little story about a client I had. He was making a lot of money. No, he was not making a lot of money. I don't know what I'm talking about. He was wanting to make a lot of money. And he actually started overthinking what he was doing, and he started getting stuck in these loops over and over of doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Like what? Like what was he overthinking?
So he's a lawyer, and he had a good practice at one time, but he started sliding down, and people were going away from him. He wasn't sure why, because he's one of the better lawyers out there in securities and real estate. But he was having...
Sound like you said, like, insecurities.
No, well, he might start having insecurities, but he seemed to start having this slide, and he wasn't sure what was going on. He knew his revenue was going down, and so he started calling on his clients more, and he was told, you call clients, you serve them, you do whatever you can to help them. And he was doing exactly that. This is what he was told to do. And so he was taking phone calls. He was available and being more and more available. And it just wasn't doing anything for him.
So he was overthinking, like, why his clients weren't calling him.
Right. And when I started working with him, I asked him, why do you think they're leaving? And he said, I don't know. And I was like, what do you want? And that's the number thing we talk about, is really start looking at your goal. The first thing that we talk about when you're having a productivity issue is, what is your goal? What do you want to have done?
What do you really want? What do you want done? Like, what excites you to keep you going for the day? Like, what is that going to bring you? What's the outcome that you need to move forward that day? Like, just figure out that one big rock you want to move. That's how we talk about it a lot of the time. So one big rock you're going to push up the hill, and it's just going to come down, and everything's going to smooth out the ride. So know what you want.
Yeah.
Is number one.
And then start taking action. But the actions you want to take, a lot of times we take the same action over and over again. And so call and call and call, or
don't call.
Discount.
Gotta make it sound better.
He had a real serious issue with trying to discount his prices to get people to actually sign up with him and work with him. And this guy is, $500 an hour lawyer, and he was discounting himself somewhere around $250
because he was overthinking that would bring him in more business.
He was focused on the wrong thing, and so he became more and more focused on reducing his price to get more work, and his productivity was going down. Then he answered the call and tried to be of service to these people, and again his productivity would go down.
So like he was in the middle of processing a big report and like doing all the analytics, and the phone rang, so he interrupted what he was doing,
right?
Which was the distraction, which was overthinking that he needed to do this over that,
and taking action on taking the wrong action. And so he continued to do the wrong action over and over again and couldn't figure out why he was getting further and further behind. When I started working with him, I asked him what his goal was, and he started talking about being more productive. He was talking about collecting the money that he was supposed to get and getting higher paying clients. And I asked him...
So he wanted higher paying clients, so he would just have to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah. And then
he was good at, where the money was really at. And
right.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to chase his clients, and he didn't want to do all of the different things he was doing. He just wanted the clients to pay for what they were getting, the services that he was providing. And the funny thing is when I really started talking to him about it, he realized that he was doing exactly the opposite of everything he wanted. So identify what you want and start making a strategic plan to get what you're looking for.
That's what we do. We help with
strategic plans. That's exactly what we do. And that's what we did with him. And so we started developing a plan. We started helping him to develop a way to get paid, a way to actually use the phone at the right times. And so we really started to help him block out his time in a way that was being more effective for him during the hours that he was working. And so...
Well, and then how was he feeling once he had that in place? I mean, was he still feeling that anxiousness that you're talking about, and the confusion of what to do next, and nervous of, could this be the next windfall? I must answer the phone.
Yeah. What he told me was he started feeling more confident about what to do, when to do it. And he started feeling a lot more empowered to be able to say, no, I can't talk right now, or to not answer the phone and take care of what's in front of him. And he started to actually remember how good he was. And the great thing is he went from that $250 back up to $450, and he started working at $450 an hour, which is pretty much where he wanted to be, and he felt really good about what he was doing and how he was doing it.
Well, I mean, you have to step back and think of, like, how was he able just to be working at that $450? It was when he started adding on more employees and delegating what he could to outside resources. There's so many things that as small business owners, as solopreneurs, that we take on ourselves because we think it just makes more sense. We might be a little bit controlling, overthinking it, but really the experts are there to help guide you along the way. So when you're thinking, and that was the big thing for Ted, is we had him doing certain things that he didn't necessarily need to be doing, but he was doing, rather than reserving to get the money he really wanted by highlighting the skills that he had.
Right. And so what we started doing is, our third point is, we started to adjust his action based on his goals and based on what he was getting in the little experiments he was doing. And so, don't answer the phone instead of answer the phone. Weird. You'd think that you're supposed to answer the phone if you want more business.
How many people just leave messages anyway?
Right. And so then set up specific call times. Set up specific times where he's supposed to be doing his writing of his briefs and documents, and then specific times where he's looking for new clients.
That's exactly it, is having that layout. Like, wouldn't you love somebody to do that for you, is to lay out your time and your focus for the week, so all you need to do is, oh, this is what I'm doing now, and head that direction for completion. Mm-hmm.
When he started using this process, when he started using us as a resource and started following our suggestions and instructions, he stopped overthinking, just started following directions, and amazing things happened for him. He actually basically, I believe it was like 12x'd his money coming in, and he started actually really enjoying what he was doing again. And now we have conversations once or twice a week for 10-15 minutes, just a touch base conversation. And the funny thing is it's Now, what do I do about this thing? What do I do about that thing? And that's about the conversation. There is no complaining about what's not working. It's just, what do I do next?
And he's just more upbeat.
Oh, yeah.
He takes many breaks to go do different things and enjoy things again, not feeling shameful that he needs to be working on his business because he's doing what he needs to be doing.
He started delegating.
Yeah.
He started delegating, and he hired people that were really good at what he needed people to be good at. And he started really being able to take this business that was a solopreneur thing, and now he's got 3 people working for him. He's looking for a 4th. And it all came from looking at where the productivity started breaking down. And once he started looking at that, he started identifying what he wanted, started doing little experiments of changing his behavior around how he was going about doing things.
And realizing he needed a helper along the way.
Right. And it all started when he said yes to help. And the fact of the matter is for us in our business, when we said yes to help, that's where our business started growing too. And we started learning how to do things in a different way. And we started learning how to actually take those productive actions and make adjustments that weren't based on our overthinking, but based on somebody else's input.
Well, yeah, and that's what we do as business strategists too, is we understand the stages of business and where you apply what and when. And I mean, your pillars are strategy, sales, marketing, and management. I mean, it goes in that order, and each phase of business has a different focus. And we understand that. We've experienced it. We've taken the wrong, before we learned that, we took wrong, we were marketing in stage 3, where we found the most growth was in the stage 1 where we were at.
And as we moved through the stages, we started becoming much more aware of how to help people move through those stages as well.
And we'd love that. We'd love to see people grow. And we'd love to, we got into business for profits, right?
Hey, Chris, good
That's
to see
what
you.
the definition of Chris knows, profits, right?
Profits.
So we can do what we love.
Productivity leads to profits. If we're really focused on what we want as far as our profits in our business, and after all, that's what we're in business for. We're in business for profits. And so when we really think about what we want as far as our bottom line, and we start making our goals around that, and we start taking the action to go there, and then if we're not hitting that, we actually change our strategy.
We're tracking it to know that we're not hitting it.
For sure.
That's key.
And so we're actually creating a program. We've created the program, and now we're inviting people who really want to get more productive, to have the bottom line grow, to dominate their space. We're inviting them to join our productivity program.
We take the overthinking out of it. That number 1 killer of your productivity is overthinking. You have it all laid out by the time you're done of where to direct your time and how to direct your time. It gives you your weekends back. It brings you the profits. It allows you to dominate your space. Don't you want to dominate your space? So let us know. We have a few more spots available, and come dominate your space in our productivity shake. Generate more time.
Generate more time.
Terry and
From
Christine,
to do to done.
Generator Coaching. We'll see you tomorrow at our 1010. It might be your 110 or somewhere in between. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.